you and your family are looking for an inter-terrace house that has a rare, elevated and unblocked view of greenery, park and a playground like this,
with an exceptionally wide frontage of 7.5 meters and a large land size of more than 2,300 square feet.
And it's within minutes walk to the MRT station, priced at only 17xx PSF. Don't miss this episode of Huttons Landed Division
Live Open House.
Hi, I'm Justin. The scene you see earlier is actually pre-recorded because we want to split up, and Michael and Willie will drive and we will walk. We want to show there are many ways that going to the house. Like what I'm walking now from here is actually from the Tanah Merah MRT. If you alight from Tanah Merah MRT, take exit there. About 1 minute's walk, you will be where am I standing now. The walkway, as you can see, are all sheltered all the way to the MRT, be rain or shine. Now, while walking through this walkway, I'll feel very relaxing because on my left-hand side are all lush greeneries. I can hear the birds chirping, things like that. And these are the trees that is heritage tree, and we call this a civet. So this is something that when you're walking through, this is actually part of the Bedok Trail. Yeah, we're walking through the highland of the Bedok, we'll reach the house itself. Okay, a little bit of Tanah Merah MRT. For frequent flyer commuters, it's nothing new to them because they have to stop at Tanah Merah MRT and change to another line to Changi Airport MRT. It's about 2 stops only. And not to mention, before you reach Tanah Merah MRT, you will arrive at Expo, where all the big events or the conventions are held. And for amenities-wise, like coming from Tanah Merah MRT, going to the east about 2 bus stops or 1 to 2 MRT stops, you will reach Simei or Tampines, which is a mature estate. If it's not enough for you or you feel like you need more, you can take another one to the west, like 1 stop to Bedok or even 4 stops to Paya Lebar, where all the new malls and air conditions malls are there. All the amenities are there. Now, from here, almost like reaching the house itself. Now, let me show you where the house is. This house is very rare because a lot of buyers ask us, is the house near to MRT? Now this is where the house is, it's very near. It's about maybe 5-6 minutes to walk only. And not only that, it's sought after location because the rear of the house facing not 1, but 2 parks and playground. Now let's see where Michael and Willie is now.
Hi, I'm Michael. I'm now traveling along Upper East Coast Road towards the direction of Limau Estate. What you see ahead of you on my left is actually this newly constructed Siglap Community Club, only commissioned this year in August. It has a number of facilities which include the Sheng Siong, the supermarket, this futsal court on the first level, as well as childcare center and senior center. Now to my right, you can see is actually the site for the Bedok South MRT station. This will be commissioned in 2 years' time and provide a link in the Thompson East Coast line. Now on my left, as you can see, I'm now turning into Bedok South Road. It's actually the new HDB estate, Bedok South Horizon, right? And on my right-hand side is actually this Q estate. By the way, the Bedok South Precinct, which is a 60 hectares of land, it's actually located between the Bayshore MRT station and the Bedok South MRT station, which you just saw just now. It will provide new housing, a lot of amenities, which includes shopping centers, recreational centers for the residents around here. And very shortly, I'm going to turn right to the Limau estate. The road that I'm coming in is Q Avenue. And just a short distance ahead is this road called Tanah Merah Kecil Road South that brings us all the way up to the hill, which you can see ahead of you. This will lead us to where the intermediate house is. To my right, as you can see, are the landed estates in this Limau area. They are very serene and big land area. So to my left, if you are looking ahead of it, is the Bedok Court on the left hand side, but you cannot access as there's a fence bordering this area. Now we are going up shortly to the hilltop. As you can see, the climb that goes up to where this road we call Jalan Limau Manis.
Hi, I'm Willie with Michael showing you the entry from the Bedok South side. I'm now actually traveling from the other side of the estate, which is from the Simei Avenue side. In fact, it took me probably just 2 minutes from this PIE from the Simei Avenue exit. From there, you just go down Simei Avenue, turn towards Upper Changi Road, and one more junction, and this is where we are. You notice now, just now we just drove past Tanah Merah MRT, and from there, once you actually turn in later, I'll show you the road in. It's actually the first road in, and you just go straight all the way without turning, right? Now, we've been featuring a lot of houses in District 16 recently. I think, remember the last live open house, the house was sold like almost instantly after the video was featured, because recently there's been a lot of interest in District 16 houses. I think buyers who were priced out on the more central part of the east side in District 15, they're beginning to find that houses in District 16, not only is there more variety, but it's also more affordable and more attractively priced, right? So, but yet at the same time, you're also guaranteed of appreciation, because in quarter 3 of 2022, this District 16 is the district that posts the highest growth of 9% versus District 13, 14 and 15. Okay, so and the house we're going to feature today, actually most of the houses now in 16 are asking, or Terrace, they're asking close to 2,000 or if not above 2,000 per square feet. But the one, like one that Justin has said, we're going for only 1,700 plus per square feet, all right? Now coming back to where we are now at this Bedok Rise. Can you see this road? We're just going straight, and it's a very hilly so-called estate, up and down, and we're surrounded by greenery, even including now on the left side. We just bypass the Bedok Terrace, a playground, and there's a nice plot of greens on this side, which actually hides the MRT station behind, which I think Justin was walking from here earlier. So if I make a turn now, if you look in front, you've noticed I've not really made any conscious turn yet. It's just a straight road down, and you start to realize this is it's surrounded by all landed properties. Okay, there's no high-rise buildings here. It's a 2-story landed zone predominantly, except for the part that's closer to East Coast Road. So from here, they are all 2-story house. Somehow, I don't know about you, I think the 2-story zone, they look a lot neater because of the more homogeneous height of all the houses. So Justin mentioned, now this house is near not just one but 2 parks. So this is the first one. You see, we are going past a beautiful park on this side with very tall trees, and then you have the playground, all right, just right behind, just opposite this. And the house we're going to is really just at the top, right? We are not exaggerating when we say this is the top of the hill. So this is the corner house, is actually right beside the corner. So let's now join the rest and see. I don't know whether they have reached the house earlier than I do. Let's take a look.
Hi, Willie.
Hi, Justin.
Hi, Michael.
Okay. So I thought it'd be faster.
Yeah.
Right here?
Yeah. Welcome. So it concludes that actually, whether you drive or you walk, we actually reach the house
About the same time. Very convenient. So are you ready for the house tour?
Welcome to Limau Estate. We are now at the entrance of this Terrace which you see behind me. Now this row of houses were built in the 1980s. However, the current owner actually renovated 15 years ago. What's so good about this house? You can see that the frontage of this house is very wide for Terrace, 7.5 meters. And it has got a land area of 2,367 square feet, which is rare for Terrace. I'm standing here is actually where you can park another car, right? One inside and one outside. And because we are on top of the hill, it is very busy. As you can see, the wind blowing 24/7 from the trees that is moving. Let's look at what is inside the house now. As you can see down here, there's an archway. This is retained by the owner. It's in the original state, right, for nostalgic reason. And to my right of this, you've got a little garden full of trees that will provide you the greenery and the oxygen in the daytime. Also, renovation includes raising the level of the ground, what you see as it is, and that there's also a patio over this side to allow them to actually enjoy the afternoon tea looking into the garden. Right? Let's take a look at what more is inside. You can see at the back of me, right? This is the entrance. It's a very spacious living area. Right? The depth is something like 7 meters, right? And you can actually see the spaciousness of this area. Okay, the whole family can actually sit here and enjoy watching the TV program. At the same time, at the so-called patio, you can enjoy the green garden and also have your cup of tea or just have a chit-chat with other members while watching TV by the side. Now, what you also notice is that the layout of the house is actually a split level. We are at the living area, and there's actually a dining area at the back, which is elevated. It is designed such a way that there is this opening that allows the wind to blow from the front to the rear. And that will make living here a very so-called cool as well as refreshing, with, of course, the light coming in. And before I pass it over to my colleague, Justin, who will show you the second half of the area, which has an area of about 900 square feet. So 900 square feet to the front, 900 square feet to the back. And there's also this storeroom which is below the staircase where you can keep your stores. So I will now hand over to Justin, who will show you the second half of the first floor. Justin?
Thank you, Michael. And now I will take it over from here to show you the rear of the house, where I actually divided into 6 zones, interestingly. Because normal terrace house, the frontage is 6 meters, but here we have 7.5, which means you have actually extra 7.5 meters of useful space. So this first zone I'm going to show you, I call this a recreations or even the work zone. Because what owner has done is, he has actually put a study table over this side and a side table, and you can actually double up to put up your printer and all that. Now, what behind this wall is actually a granny's or guest room. Now, this wall is actually knockable. So what happens is you can actually make an access. If you like the door access to come in from this side, so you can actually make a door. Now, coming over to the second zone, which is the dining area. Now, what you see is actually there are 4 tables seated together, but easily you can actually put a large round table, 8-seated or even 10-seated, because we have so much space over this side. The fact that these two zones add up together is about 300 square feet, and also you can imagine how big it is. Now sitting down here, what I like about is I can feel the wind flow, because we are about south-southeast facing. The wind will come in from the back as well. The back is unblocked. I'm going to show you later, shortly. And from here, even I sit here, I also can have a conversation, seamlessly connected with the guests, at the living hall as well. And what I like about this, sitting down here, bonding with the family, having over the lunch or dinner, I also can see the garden from this side. The glimpse of the gardens from this side. This is how huge the dining area is. Now, moving on is actually where the dry kitchen is. Now, on my right hand side, you can see there are actually two fridges. Nothing. Usually for the landed owner, they usually need more fridges. Now they actually place it here, but the other way to do it, you actually can reposition it. You can put it on my left hand side where the space is. Then you can leave this space, open up again, and if you like to host, over the festive season, you have friends, relative coming over, you can actually put more dining tables, even at the recreation zone or even at the wet kitchen side. And this dry kitchen, where the owner has done is, he likes something that's more earthy tones. They actually did a brown color cabinets, top hung and also bottom. And also they have this tabletop which is really usable. They put some the boiler, the coffee machine, and these two compartments they actually had already done up specifically for the oven and also microwave. With that, from here you can see that the dry kitchen is seamlessly connected to the wet kitchen as well. The color, the design, everything are all seamlessly connected. So where I'm standing now is actually where the dry kitchen is. It's really spacious. And on this side, you actually can build up more cabinets or even some countertop. Right. Let's head on to the toilet, the guest toilet, or powder room. Now this is actually not just a powder room, it's actually a full-fledged toilet. They have done up the wall, they have some texture on the wall and all that. They have renovated. Now coming here, they have cleverly put up a door here to make this room, the guest room that I showed you just now, I mentioned earlier, to become an ensuite bedrooms. Now, if you do not need a granny's room, you can convert it into another entertainment area. Like I say, you can actually do a glass panel to let in more light panel coming into the rooms here. Now, the usual bedroom, granny rooms ends here, but actually what the owner has done is actually expanded. They push it out, they actually built two huge wardrobe on that side, so it become even more usable. Yep. Okay, from here, I will moving on back to the dry kitchen. Let me show you where the kitchen is. And the wet kitchen is important, where we cook up all the sumptuous meal, for the whole families. Now, before I step into the wet kitchen, there are these divided collapsible door. So they actually cleverly done this up. So when you are cooking, in order to avoid the fumes like coming over, flowing through to the dry kitchen, they actually has done this up here. And what you can see is in the middle, they actually have this glass panel. And what happens is when you close it up, even if you close it up, the lights can penetrate into the dry kitchens to make the dry kitchen also very bright. And where now you can see, if I step back a little bit, you can see how wide and how deep the both dining, from the dining, the dry and the wet kitchen is. Now the wet kitchen on my right hand side here, you can see they are they have done all the cabinets, the top hung and the bottom cabinets all done already. And yet you still have a lot of space over this side. And moving from here, there's actually another movable counter island on this side to put some stuff on. You want to place some more storage space over on that side. Okay. Now, one thing I like about this house is where the garden is. This is the gardens. That's over here. They have this garden space. A lot of time when you have this sheltered wet kitchen, you already so-called already fully pushed out already. But yet again, you still have this garden space where you can actually put some herbs, plants, put some plants, at the back if you have a green finger. And moving on to the back here, this is where the side gate is, exclusive to this house. This side gate will lead you to the back where the playground is. Like I mentioned just now earlier, I say I feel a lot of wind ventilation, the cross wind, flowing through because the back is unblocked. It's actually where the playground is, which I showed earlier when I walked from the MRT to the house here. Yep. So I'm done at the second layer. The first layer, this is the rear of the house. I'm going to pass on to Willie to show you the rest of the house. Willie, over to you.
Now we're going up to level 2. Remember, when you have a land size that is unusually large and the frontage, all right, would you expect that the rooms also are of enormous or unusually large size as well? All right, let me just show you. Okay, now the first clue that will give you a hint of what's to come is, can you see this high ceiling? Now this is one thing that I and also a lot of buyers like about split level houses. Okay, very often a lot of the rooms, especially upstairs, will have basically slanted roofs and they are on a cascading levels and always have higher than normal ceiling height. And from where we are standing now, this is not unusual or usual 5 to 6 meters. It's actually almost 8 meters from bottom to the top. All right, bottom to top, 8 meters there. So this light panels or airwell on the side lets in natural light and of course a lot of ventilation as well. And besides that, as you step up, you also feel that, wow, this space feels a lot more enormous and a lot more grand, all right, than what it is. Although the feel of the rooms upstairs is to make it as cozy as possible as the bedrooms. Now here we have 3 bedrooms, 2 at the back and the first one towards the front. So as you enter here, okay, you notice there is a wall here. Now this is interesting. Why is this a softboard? Once you step in, you understand. Okay, from where you stand, you can see this room actually is not small. It stretches all the way, right, from the left to the right side, same taking up the whole 7.5 meters width. All right, so for a room to have this kind of frontage and the width, it means there's a lot of natural light. There's also the visibility is excellent. I'll show you in a while. And it is so big that the owners actually managed to create a what I call room within a room. This one, like I mentioned, these are all just partition board. It goes all the way up here. This was done up to create a little sanctuary for the children. All right, so the children, owners, after they moved here, not only have one, but 2. And now, of course, there's a 3rd child before they decided to move to a bigger space. So if you come in here, this was a room, okay, was a room for the 2 children. And it's a very comfortable, cozy size room. And even though the dimensions are pretty cozy, you have the high ceiling, right? First glance of the high ceiling that I mentioned to you, right? So if you can come here, they can put here the 2 beds. It can be a super single bed if you want to. And then the space behind, if you turn around, these are all wall space. There's no carpentry, just easy for you to put your furniture, books, a study table, etc. All right, so but of course you say, what if I don't have children? I don't want a room within a room. You can always convert this to your dedicated study or a walk-in wardrobe or an entertainment room, up to you. If you don't want, you can just remove this whole thing and integrate this small room with the rest of this master bedroom. Okay, so this master bedroom, like I mentioned, boasts the vast view. You can see from here. This is the front. Okay, it actually stretches. Without this wall, you'll be able to see the full 7.5 meters frontage. Right, that stretches left to right, and then you have a very nice view of the front. And because of the size of the house, because of the longer than usual a setback in the front, and because of the additional parking lot, remember I told you in front, you are now actually much further from the next row of neighbors in front. Another thing I like, if you notice here, is that all the neighbors in front are semi-detached houses, right? Are all semi-Ds. There are pockets of space between the houses, which means your wind flow here is a lot better. I'm going to show you from the next window, which will be clearer. All right, so after this room within a room, you will come to the main sleeping area. Okay, you can also see from here, this is part of the house that was renovated just 5 years ago. You can see this is a relatively new flooring. All right, it has been painted. In fact, it has not been painted since 5 years ago, so the condition is really, really quite good. You come in here, you notice this feels like a matrimonial room, feels like just newly renovated. So it makes the requirement for renovation to be minimized. All right, now talking about the view again, I think this will give you a better idea. Again, the breeze, right? So remember I told you about that tree. That tree is the clue for, if it's moving, you'll start to feel the gentle breeze that's coming here. So this is not a busy road, so to speak, and we have a very good distance from the next neighbor. Okay. Now, if you see here, actually from a certain some of the space in front, this is if you want to actually create more space, you have 2 ways to do extension. One is you can see from here. You can come a bit closer. Can you see this? The ceiling or the roof, the shelter. Now, see how big this shelter is. All right. This shelter, just imagine, it can be completely converted, number 1, into a walkout balcony, right? Into a walkout balcony, All right, and number two, you can actually do a bit of a shelter and have a canopy and of course a sheltered so-called balcony and a terrace where you can do some entertainment. Only thing you can't do is to enclose these three sides and make it into an enclosed room. A lot of the new houses that we see along this area has actually converted this space. But for some strange reason, I don't know why, none of the neighbors here have done so. One reason I suspect is because maybe the room size are already big enough. There's no need for them to do that. But if I were the new buyer like you, I'll be very tempted to do this extension if I have the time and of course the investment cost, right, for to do this. Because when you do that, then you will be able to maximize this room even further. Right now, this room, by the way, the size is almost about 460 square feet. All right, it's almost like a small studio apartment. What you've seen is this first two part. Another part is interesting here. I would like you to draw your attention to the top. The ceiling gets very, very high. All right, this is more than 4 meters high. And in fact, this usual layout, if you can see here, this is the wall. There was, up to this part, this is the partition wall. So the room used to be L-shaped. And behind this is the bathroom, which I'm going to show you in a while. What the owners has done, again, to make use of the high ceiling and to maximize the amount of storage, he has decided to box this up and create a walk-in wardrobe, which is just beside the bathroom, right? So if you come in here and take a quick glance at the walk-in wardrobe, this is basically only half the height. If you want to create more storage at the top, you can put a lot of things up there, your luggage, your winter wear, etc. All right. So having this, it makes the bedroom area that's inside where you see a king-size bed and your TV console a lot neater because it's away from basically your sleeping area. Now, if you come in now, this is my favorite part. Can you see now how high, how tall, how big this bathroom is? Okay. All right. Again, firstly, you notice it is almost in an immaculate condition. This is part of the house that was renovated just 5 years ago. They have updated it with new tiles, very modern, neutral tones, which I think is very palatable, very soothing. But I really like is when I walk in here, you feel this sense of space above, because if you can come here to see the same natural air well that you saw at the stairwell is also present here. Okay, so when you come in here, you feel that, wow, you can really, in terms of ventilation, breathe, and there's also a lot of this natural air. And can you hear now the sound of birds chirping as well, because we're very, very near to the trees. So it's a very unique bathroom. It is the master bath. They have removed, of course, the bathtub, but yet the space is still big enough, I think, for you to basically take to enjoy the rest of your night or to have your quiet moment in the bathroom in. All right, so if you walk out now from here, again, this is the board area. So you can choose up to here just to do the door and have this as part of the living room, or enclose this, right, like what the owners have done. Let's now take a look at the rooms on the rear part of the house. So again, this is the master bedroom suite, I would say, almost 460 square feet, including the bathroom. With a room like this, are you looking forward to a larger room at the top? All right. Normally, the master bedroom is usually, of course, the largest, but I think the next two common rooms I'm going to show you is not going to disappoint as well in terms of size. All right. Let's first take a look at the first common bedroom on the right side. Again, as you come up here, I get a better sense of this natural light coming from the airwell here. Remember, I told you about the 8 meters high. So you come here easily. Again, the wind flow is just amazing. Okay, for inter-terrace, you don't usually get this in terms of both light as well as natural ventilation. Keep the doors open and you see how the breeze comes through. Okay, so let's take a look at the first common room. Now, this is the smallest room, all right, smallest room on the second floor, yet it measures a very decent 160, almost 160 square feet. What makes up for or enhances it further is, again, the high ceiling. So if I'm going to point up here, right, you can see even with my hands stretched out, there's still a lot of space at the top where there's a lot more potential for you to do shelvings, for you to do a double bunk bed if you want to, like a loft, right, concept. You can choose to sleep at the top, use this as an activity area, vice versa, right, vice versa. Now the main thing here, if you can just stand at the door, I want you to focus on this very picturesque view. Right, so I'm not done anything, this is just a natural window. You can see if the windows pull at the side. What you see in front is really the highlight of this entire house, highlight of this house, which attracted a lot of the previous buyers, and of course, I think the viewers' interest as well. Besides the wind that I'm feeling now, just look at this view. You have no neighbor at the back. This is elevated. You have very mature trees just in front of you, different species, and in front is basically the playground, and behind that is the park, right, that Justin walked past and I drove past earlier. But you can imagine waking up and this is what you feel and see every day. I emphasize again, now it's a very hot part of the day, and yet you still feel this constant breeze coming through. All right, it is bright. This is, although it's a bit towards the northwest facing, but it's mainly north. West side is being covered by the condos on the other side. All right, it's quiet, and you have this urge. Remember I told you about the extension in the front. This you can likewise do the same thing. The cameraman can come a bit closer. Can you see the amount of space that can be fully utilized? Now here, besides, a bit different from the front part is that not only can you extend this as a balcony, you can actually enclose this entire area, because the space up to the ledge of this, beyond that we still have a 2 meters garden, all right, 2 meters setback, which means this entire shelter area, all right, the size is almost about 300 over square feet. You can actually enclose, almost 400 square feet. You can actually enclose this to be a usable room. Then you can create 1 room, 2 rooms, make this into an entertainment area, all right, or up to you. But you can imagine now we are already so close to the park. Imagine your room is actually at the edge, all right, of basically this shelter. I think it'll be really amazing. Okay, but even without that, like what I'm standing here now, this room is spacious enough. You can put king, queen size bed. This is a huge wardrobe. There's a lot of space. Even without doing this extension, this room will more than suffice. Okay, now talking about room to room, if you notice, the owners have done something unique here. This is actually connected to another room at the back. What is beyond this? Let's just turn around the corner and let's take a look. So what's beyond this door is another humongous room. All right, in fact, this is even larger than the master bedroom. Just a comparison for size, just now that room that we saw is about 160 square feet. This is more than double the size at 340 square feet. It's like a studio apartment, all right? But it doesn't used to be like this. Now, this house was designed to have 2 master bedrooms because of the owner's needs. If you choose to decide to have a usual layout whereby you have 2 common rooms and a shared bathroom, what you can do, which is what the house originally was, is to actually have a wall here. You can start to imagine using the horizontal beam as a benchmark. This could be where the wall is. This will be a common walkway, and then this could be a common bathroom that we shared by both rooms. All right. Even with this wall here, you can see behind me, this is still going to be a huge room. All right. What the owners have done, if you have seen or quite observant, you notice that the width of the 2 rooms are slightly different, because as the owners demarcate the room, this wall has been torn down and the wall has been shifted more to that side, making this room deliberately larger than the other. Should you want to put it back into equal size width to have about 3.25 meters each, this wall can be shifted quite easily. All right, now let's take a closer look at this room. Now the first thing you notice, if you start to walk around, can you see how high the ceiling is? Right, remember, this is one of the things that I or many buyers like about the split level house, is that the rooms at the top have very high ceiling, and you can see it's very apparent here. This wardrobe is a normal size wardrobe, about 2 meters high, is barely half of the entire height of the wall. At the top, you can do a lot of storage, right? So whether you're a bag collector, you're a sneakers collector, toys collector, there's a lot of space at the top for you to do your collection. Or you can actually do a loft, like I mentioned earlier, do a small little office or storage area, or an entertainment gaming room if you want to, right? Even with this corner not done, you can see on this side, now this is a very squarish room. Even with the king size, this is the first time I see a king size bed being dwarfed, all right, in a sense. After putting in the bed, there's still a lot of space here. Sofa, TV, a study area, walk-in wardrobe, up to you, all right, a lot of space. So now let's come to my favorite part of the entire house, which I've given you a glimpse earlier, all right, in the other room, right, is this view. If just now the window view you saw was like a 46-inch TV, this is like a 90-inch TV, right? This is a beautiful straight-on view of the park in front of you. And maybe because this room is wider, you really get this vision, unblocked vision from the left to the right of the entire playground, of the entire park. And you can even see the walkway that Justin walked through just now, the shortcut to the MRT station. Again, this is a hot day in front of you because of the shelters. You don't get the heat coming in. All right, you can see the breeze coming, and like I mentioned earlier, this, if you were to really choose to extend this, I can imagine the potential of not just either the size of this room, even if you just do a walkout balcony, you'll be a lot closer to the nature and to this magnificent view that we just saw earlier. If you have more budget and you want to enclose this, all right, via A&A, either methods, then this can be 1 or 2 rooms, or even be a larger, so-called enlarged version of this room. So this gives, I think, bigger families, right, even bigger families with more family members, a lot more flexibility to maximize the potential of this 2-story terrace house. All right, now we've almost come to the end of the house tour. So giving you a final look at this huge second master bedroom, all right, that you see. And with this, we will join Justin and Michael down at level 1.
Enjoy touring the 2-story freehold terrace at Limau Estate with us.
With land size of more than 2,300 square feet, wide frontage, high ceiling, and 4 spacious bedrooms, make this a comfortable home for you and your family.
Let's not forget this rare Hutton location and a very unforgettable unblocked greenery view. So if you and the family are keen to take a look at this beautiful house via home tour, which is also, by the way, going for only $4.2 million and slightly above $1,700 per square feet, feel free to give any of us a call. Once again, my name is Willie.
I'm Michael.
I'm Justin.
See you at the next installment of Huttons Landed Division's
Live Open House.